Hi friends, welcome to Rita's Paper Motif. Today is what's in your kit day, and so we're going to look into the contents of this kit. Now I haven't opened it up. It did just come in the mail yesterday, so let's look and see what's in here. But before we start, I just wanted to remind you that our new annual catalog is live, and so if you don't have a copy of this brand new annual catalog, you can go to ritaspapermotif.com, scroll all the way to the bottom of the homepage. You'll find a picture of this beautiful catalog, and if you click that button below, then it'll take you to the virtual copy. And I do want to tell you right now that I do definitely appreciate your business. So if you don't have a demonstrator, I would be so happy if you would make your purchases through me as your demonstrator. Speaking of demonstrators, right now is a perfect time to pick up your starter kit, which enables you to be a brand new demonstrator. And with your starter kit, that offers discounts on product that can be anywhere from 20 to 25% on the product. Excuse me. And also you get to pre-order new product as it becomes available, and you get me. And so if that's something that you'd like to do, whether you want to just paper craft, card make, scrapbook, or 3D projects as a hobby, that's perfectly fine, no pressure. If you want to start your own little business, that's great, and I'm here to help you through it. So I wanted to remind you of that. Also, when you're making your purchases now, you're earning, if you make a $20 or more purchase, then you earn 10% in rewards. Now with these rewards, you can bank them and then, just use them as you want, or you can use them as you go. They're your rewards. It's kind of like a loyalty program, and so you can, use them as you want. I also wanted to remind you that I have started what I call the Paper Pumpkin at the Paper Motif. And I'm so thankful for those of you that are loyal Paper Pumpkin subscribers as your demonstrator, that I've started an exclusive group. It's called Paper Pumpkin at Paper Motif. And with every Paper Pumpkin kit that you receive, that includes a stamp set, an ink spot, then that's sent. So let me back up. So every time you receive your Paper Pumpkin kit, then that is like a card kit, then I wanted you to know that I'll be designing my own little card kit, and then I'll be mailing it out to you, and you can make 2 more cards as well as the cards through the kit. So the Paper Pumpkin is offered to you once a month. You need to subscribe before the 10th of the month, and then at the end of that month, in your mail, you'll find your Paper Pumpkin. So there are different plans for that subscription. So I want to encourage you to just go to ritaspapermotif.com. Again, at the bottom of the homepage, you'll find the Paper Pumpkin. You can click the button. It'll take you right to where you would order the Paper Pumpkin as a subscription, and then you just go from there. It's pretty self-explanatory. But I wanted to let you know that because I am so appreciative of my Paper Pumpkin subscribers, that I'm just adding a little more to it. All right, so let's get going. So this is the kit. Now, I like to do kits at least once a month, and I'm going to tell you right off, I believe this is not a stamping kit, but we're going to look inside. We'll make one sample of each design as indicated in the kit, and then I'll spend throughout the month, I'll spend time making alternative cards, and I'll be featuring them in my blog and also on Facebook. So let's go ahead and open it up. I'm kind of excited. I love these little boxes. I really do. So inside you'll see it's all nice and neat, wrapped in this cellophane, and it will show me on the, so these are the instructions, and it'll show me what I'm going to be doing. So obviously these are not stamping cards, so everything that I need to make each design, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 designs, will be all wrapped up in this cellophane. So let's open it up. Let's see here. Want to be careful. I do not want to cut anything in there. Let's see here. You know, I know that this plastic keeps everything nice and neat, but I really do hate it. I don't like the sound of it crinkling, and just ruins your nails getting it off. Oh well, we always have to have something to complain about, right? Not really, but we do. All right, so I see that in this kit I have some tear and tape. Now I love the tear and tape. I just want to share with you a little bit about each item in here. So the tear and tape is a double-sided tape, and I always get more on these rolls than I need for the cards, but they're great. They're especially great for your 3D projects. All of our adhesive is very strong holding, and this is no exception. So that's there, and you can always save the contents, whatever you don't use for your for what you're making. You can definitely save it and use it for other projects. And I see they sent us a little sheet of dimensionals. Now these are the mini dimensionals. You can see how big they are when I kind of move it like that. So dimensionals are those, I think they're sometimes called sticky dots, but they have adhesive on both sides, and they're not sticky when you touch it like this, because they have like a wax paper that keeps that sticky part sticky. So we have a sheet of that, so we know we're going to be using that. And let's see, we have some, we'll put it to the side. I see some envelopes here, and so the envelopes for every card, these envelopes always come decorated. So it's not, it might be kind of white and plain on the front, but you'll see the insert on this inside is printed. Now the thing that I like about this is when I'm doing my alternative cards, sometimes I will cut the envelopes and use them on my alternatives. Let's put these to the side. Oh, I did want to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One must have been, let's see, 2, 4. Okay, 8 is what I should have. I don't know. I wasn't doing my math right. And then we see some card bases. So that is always comes in a card kit. So you'll see that it's already scored. This is an A2 size card. Again, this is something I usually will cut up because if you cut right down that score line, that is very close to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is a bottom layer to a card, to an A2 size card, right? And so you could conceivably get 2 cards out of each one of these card bases. And so we see this is cute. So it's kind of got a little print here that looks like the edge of a postage of a stamp, right? Okay, so we have 2 and 2, so there's 4. We see this is a box, so we're going to be making some 3D project in this as well. So this is neat. It's all scored, so it takes all the, I mean, you essentially could have this kit and make it well, you wouldn't need anything outside of the kit, so everything is there. I do always like to say a pair of scissors may be something that you want, but obviously not necessary always. And here are some sentiments that are like punch outs. I call them punch outs. They're perforated, so you can just punch them out. And these come in different languages, so if you speak French or German or Dutch, it's going to be here for you. but also English. So you can see, hey, let's see, where is the English? Let's just look. These are all French. Okay, let's keep looking. This will make more sense when we look at the, yeah, we're just going to leave this here. It'll make more sense when we look at the directions. So here's some more card bases, and you can see they have that outline of the arches. So we have a bundle that comes with stamps, and the sentiments are rounded, so you could actually do your sentiment around an arch. And we have the dies that you can create arches just like this. So this is pretty. This is fresh freesia, and I think you can see it has like some foliage, like tone on tone. So very pretty. So we're going to put this with our card bases. And here's some more of those punch outs. I can't wait to see. I wonder if I got the wrong kit. Oh, nope. It says have a great day is right here. And another one that says have a great day. All right, and here's some more of those card bases. So this is kind of interesting. I have not seen this a card base like this before, so this should be very, very nice, very interesting to make a card. We'll put it there. Here are some more punch outs, some little hearts, and they look like little flowers. And there's different sizes of these hearts. It looks like there's larger and medium, so that we'll see how that works. And then we have some sentiment strips that are in here, or actually they almost look like journaling cards. Well, we'll see. We'll punch them out in a minute. And then we have some beautiful ephemera right here. So we have like, what's that, a toucan and some peaches, sunflowers, and a bicycle. Oh, this is cute. Look at that. A cactus, some more flowers, the sun, and a, what's that, a sloth. And then here's some foliage. So these all come out easily. So we're going to punch them out and stack them. And then you always get one of these little tag boards. These are great. I like to save them because you can make 3D projects with them. But also, if you were creating this kit and you weren't home, this would be something good to work on. And it just kind of stabilizes everything else. We're not going to need this, so let's put it back in our box. And then here are our beautiful directions. So you can see this is what we're going to be making. And then here are the directions inside. So it doesn't matter what language you speak. These are all illustrated, and so you're going to be able to create your kits and know how to do that. And so it also will show you what you should have in your kit. And it also will tell you about the coordinating colors right here. So the coordinating colors are basic black, crushed curry, early espresso, fresh freesia, garden green, melon mambo, and pumpkin pie. So when I'm creating my alternatives, those are the inks and paper that I have kind of there at my reach, and then I'll go from there. But let's go ahead and punch all of those apart, and let's make one of each of these cards so that you can see that. And then I did want to tell you that this is in our catalog. You have to go online to get it because our kits are always changing. They're always adding to the kits, and so you know, it's ever changing, so there's no way that they can keep them in a catalog that lasts for a year. But again, you can go to ritaspapermotif.com and you can find these kits. I do believe that the kit was around, I want to say $15. So that's also nice because that's pretty inexpensive for 8 cards, right? And then it looks like that 3D project was going to be a box for our cards. So not only could you make beautiful cards, but you could give them as a gift. So let's go ahead and get going here. I'm going to make some room here because we're going to be punching out all these things. And I like to do that just because I get rid of a lot of these, the paper that all these punch outs come in, and it just is easier to put them in little stacks and then figure out what I'm going to use for my cards. So this I can throw away. I will tell you that sometimes I've kept some of these because you can use them with your blending brushes, but there isn't a lot of detail, so maybe not. I wouldn't save this, but let's go ahead and toss it. So we have all of our little foliage. I'm going to put it to the side. And then we have some more items here. So let's just go ahead and punch these out. And while I'm doing this, I did quickly want to say, you know, I really would love to hear where you're watching from. So I know it would be on the replay. So if you would be so kind as to just say hello or shout out. It's just kind of nice to know where my viewers are watching from, and it also helps the my channel. So I'm just stacking these up here, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. If you're you can also find me on Facebook, and I always try to kind of watch these little inserts sometimes because I have forgotten them, and when I realize I have them then still on there, then I wish I would have paid attention. All right, so let's just go ahead. We're pretty much through with a lot of that. Now these are what I had to psychologically remember. That didn't even make sense. What I had to remember was that we're only making 2 of each card, so that's why we have 2 of these. Oh, it just came apart. We have 2 of these, 4 of these. So, I thought they were scored. They are cut. So, let's see what happens here. Okay, these I'm not going to take apart because these are so tiny they could get lost, and they have sticky on them. So, they're like stickers. So, I'm just going to put those to the side. And then I'm going to take away, or I'm going to punch out these greetings. So here's one that's English. It says "You matter." So let's punch it out. Now, I don't usually or always get rid of these sentiments that are from that have another language on them, because you can always stamp on the back. So you can always use these as sentiment strips. So we have a great day, you matter, and hang in there. So let's see, are there any more? No. So I'm going to put that to the side. I wish I could find someone who who maybe speaks French or German that would want these, because you know, they could have extra sentiments, right? And you don't have to use these sentiments just for this card. So that's another thing. So let's see here. We're almost finished. Let's see. Okay, that's it. All right, we know this is going to be a box. And so if you've never, I'm just going to move all of this stuff to the side over here so that we have room to create. And also I'll go on to create after the video, and then I'll show you, of course. So I just want them all separated there. All right, so we see that we're going to be making a box. So I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So let's just go ahead and make that box. And that's one thing we will have done. So what I like to do when I'm making my boxes is let's just go ahead and fold on the fold lines. It's very obvious where the fold lines are, right? So we'll just do that. And they already have tear and tape on here, so that's perfect. Let's see here. Whoops, I folded that. I don't think I should have. Oh, nope, I shouldn't have folded it there. That's not a fold line. I like to say when we're crafting, there are very few mistakes that you can't fix. So, all right, then once we've folded on the fold lines, let's go ahead and take a pick tool, and we're going to take off this release tape. Because when you have things like this, these are usually sides, and you know, you don't have to, it's obvious that they're sides because they're smaller, and you can just see when you see the template like this, it kind of makes more sense, right? So let's go ahead and just take off all of this release paper on this tear and tape. And if you take your, take a pick tool and you just kind of, you can get under there and just take off that release paper. Sometimes if it gives you a little issue, you want to make sure that you varnish down that tear and tape, because if it's not completely stuck down, you'll bring up the tape too. So let's go ahead and let's see, we know this is going to be set up like this, right? So let's take these, and we're going to put the sides together just like this. So we want this flush. So let's see here. So we'll just do that. Now you do want it flush, like I said. So it's kind of good to rub your fingers like that. And then we know that this, obviously you can see how things are starting to go, right? So we're just going to bring this down. Again, you want to make sure it's flush. Okay, and so now we have our cool box. That this slit that I thought was a score line is where the lid will just like go inside. Now you could definitely decorate this if you want. I probably will, but you don't have to, obviously. So there you go. There's that box. We're going to be putting our cards in this box, and that would be a great gift. So think about it. So you have a kit that costs, I think it was around $15, and you can make these cards and give them as a gift. So it's going to have a big impact, and definitely the person that receives it is going to feel like they got the gift of a lifetime, because there is nothing more fulfilling or more appreciative than homemade cards. All right, so let's look at the first one, where I think we're going to try and make this first. So this is the one that has the cactus, and we can see that it is using the card base that has the sunburst. So let's just go ahead and do that. We'll use one of those card bases, and we know it's already scored in the middle. So let's go ahead and take our bone folder, and we're just going to give it a quick varnish. Now, I can tell you by just looking at this little card, this is more like a note card. It is definitely not 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It is 5 by 3 1/2. So the finished card, so this part of the card is, like I just said, 5 by, actually it's a little more than 3 1/4. And so this is considered a note card. So these envelopes are also going to be note card envelopes. Most of the time, many of us make the A2 size cards, but these are smaller, but they make great gifts. And the fact that you're going to give along with your card an envelope is perfect. So let's go ahead and create it. So we can see that we need one of these white pieces that we punched out. You can see that right there, and it tells you right there. And this is going to go on the front of our card. So it looks like the little circle part is down at the bottom left of the card. And it looks like the that stamp edging is at the top. So we're going to go ahead and place it right in the middle of the card. So let's do that. Now, if you're using your tear and tape, you definitely can do that. I'm going to use the tear and tape here, but just because I'm making it exactly like it says. So let me see, I just had here it is. But probably for video's sake, I really would rather be using my glue. But let's make it just like it said. So this has lines on it. I'm going to turn it over. Let's go ahead and put our tear and tape just like this. Now the beauty of the tear and tape is you can just kind of, you know, tear it. You could use an acrylic block if it's hard for you to tear this way. But this is usually how I do it. So you don't even really need scissors for that. Now you could peel this. See how that was up? You want to make it down. You can peel this tear and tape with your fingernail if you want and just take off the release paper. But I am going to tell you that it is much easier with a take a pick tool. And you just take a pick tool and you lift that up and peel it. Again, you could do this with your fingernail. All right, so there's our 3 pieces of release paper. We're going to go ahead and eyeball this and put this in the middle. So let's see here. Trying to give it the same margin on each side. And you know what? There are some card designs where the layers are not perfectly in the middle, and that's okay. We'll get rid of this. We don't need it. Now we can see in our sample that we're going to be using that cactus. So we punched out all of those things. Let me get our cactus. Here it is, right here. And so we're going to just put our cactus right here. And this is where we're going to be using our dimensionals. And so the bottom part that sticks to this release paper is sticky, and we're just going to put them on here. Now, I will also tell you that usually we get quite a few of these dimensionals, and so you'll have some left over. I will tell you that I I know it's true. I use more dimensionals than always is necessary, but it's okay. That's something I don't mind doing. And dimensionals are inexpensive, but I like that whatever I'm adhering down with the dimensionals, I like to know that it's evenly supported. And that's what, I just lost that dimensional somewhere. And that's what that's what the dimensionals do, is they lift up, they give dimension to whatever it is that you're applying. And so let's see, I'm going to put one more over here. And so I do overuse them, so I'm going to be the first to tell you, I just don't feel that for what dimensionals do, for the effect that they have, to me, it is worth it to use a few more. So, I'm just saying. But remember, we're all different. So, let's see here. Now, this kit, I didn't even tell you, did I? This kit is called Share a Smile. And, so the very fact it's called Share a Smile does indicate that you're going to be sharing with someone. So we're going to be sharing this whole kit with someone. Okay, there's all those release papers from the dimensionals. And then this is from the directions, as we can see. From the directions, it's going to go in the middle. So there we go. And then it's calling for the sentiment that says hang in there. And so we know that's a circular, well, it's not really circular. It's kind of an odd shape. And that's going to go right here. So here's what I'm going to tell you. When you have something like this, so this cactus is up on dimensionals, and this sentiment is going to hang a little on the cactus like this. So if you were to use your tear and tape and put it there, this is going to, there's a gap there because of the elevation, right? So here's what I tell you to do. Flip it over, put dimensionals here and tear and tape here. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get our dimensionals. Okay, I'm gonna put this on here again because let's see. So we're gonna put our dimensionals right here. And I know I don't want dimensionals on this whole part here. I just want them, I probably can just use 4, and I'm just gonna put them on this portion right here. So let's just do that, and then we'll use a strip of tear and tape right here. And let's take off that tear and tape and the release papers on these. And it is garbage day, so you'll hear a lot of activity out here. Okay, so how many of you have used kits before? Let me know in the comment section if you don't mind. And then also, which is your favorite? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that tear and tape on there, and then the dimensionals will pop that up. So you'll have some dimension right there. Now you can stamp whatever you want in here, but remember, if we're giving this as a gift, these are like note cards, so they can write their message. So I'm going to give this to a person I have in mind. So I'm going to leave this blank so she can write whatever message she wants in there before she gives it to someone. And then it's going to have its very nice envelope. So here's what I like to do. I like to go ahead and fold the envelope as we would, and I like to stick this right here, and now we have an envelope with a card, and we're going to go ahead and put this right in here in our little box. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue making these and it won't be on this video. I'll stop here. I've already showed you one card, and I'm going to go ahead and use this kit, and I am going to do what I call alternatives, and then I'm going to invite you back to check them out. They'll be on my blog, and they'll also be on my Facebook business page. So come back and see what I do with these, and you know, it might be something as simple as just changing the sentiment, or we'll see. So come back and check them out, and I want to thank you for visiting me. You have a great weekend, and we'll see you again at the next What's in Your Kit. All right, bye now. Thank you so much.